This is a little lake at Charles de Gaulle Avenue in the West Bank of New Orleans. In the West Bank of New Orleans, Now we can actually see that a number of things could affect the color of a lake. And when most people depend on a lake for their drinking water source, then the processing is very important. But I just wanted to show you, after the WEFTEC 2016, what can actually happen to a source of drinking water. This is a little lake. In the West Bank area of New Orleans. We are actually in the community of Algiers. A couple of blocks from here, we will see we'll get to the ferry that ferry people over the Mississippi River to downtown New Orleans. The WEFTEC 2016 actually took place in the city of New Orleans, and there is a law that came out of the meeting. It is actually called the biggest water quality meeting in the world. We have a lot of companies come from Europe, from Germany, from England, from China, from Japan, from other parts of Asia, and there was the Global Center that discussed a number of international issues as they related to water, whether it's wastewater, whether it's flooding water, whether it's water from a lake or salt water. We know that desalinization is one of the principles or one of the methods which are being promoted today by experts in water, who are saying that if we are going to be secure with water needs in the future, then all communities, all cities have to be smart to start diverting some of their resources and funds towards desalinization of water, so that water can be useful for drinking. But as I've been showing you, this is a little man-made lake. And we see the color. The color of the lake isn't beautiful. The color of the water isn't beautiful enough. We know that if you try to drink this water the way it is, you will sure come up with a number of water-based health problems. But when this water is diverted or channeled into a processing source, we know that there will be a disinfection process, and there will be other processes of getting the water pure and good for human consumption. So one of the ways that we get water for human consumption is water that comes from a lake. Like we have Lake Barumbi in the city of Kumba, and there are a number of people who got to know that the color of the water change. It could be as a result of old metal pipes which are rusting, and there is lead in the water. Like we have the situation of Flint, and it could lead to lead poison and other irritants in the water, which can lead to dermatological problems for people who get a bath with the water. So it's not out of place to actually find that, like the expert said in the Q&A we did, the color of water can change, and it doesn't mean that the water is not good for human consumption. And the color of water could just be so beautiful, so bright, and all of that, and there are impurities, there are contaminants like bacteria, fungi, viruses, and chemical contaminants in the water. So the color of the water itself is not it does not always tell us the quality of the water. So to the odor of the water. But when water begins to have an odor, there is need for the water to be analyzed of impurities, whether there are impurities in the river or other related things. So there is need for many of those things to be done, and the river to be the source of the water to be evaluated for impurities and other related injurious agents. But as I was telling you and showing you, this is one of the ways that people get their water for human consumption. This is one of the ways that people get their water for human consumption. And as I've been telling you, we are actually in Algiers in the West Bank. We are in Algiers in the West Bank of New Orleans this day, and I've been showing you certain things. And as I said, just over the river, taking the ferry, you will get to the other side of the city. So we actually see that the Mississippi River actually divides the city into the west and the east. But the west side is actually called the West Bank, and it has a number of communities like Algiers, where we are, and other communities in the West Bank. As I said, if you walk down Charles de Gaulle Avenue and go further down, or you are able to walk down this way and move too close to where they have the military barracks or whatever, you will come close to the bank of the river, and you could be able to get into the ferry and be ferried to the other side of the river, and get to the Hara, the Hill thing, and all the other hotels, and the Hara Casino,